Welcome. My name is Severin Garrett, and I'm so excited to share with you all some things tonight about Carol's excitement and finding a new way to get healthier, and then also some tools that I have found so effective. I'm a certified health coach, and I love helping people get healthier. So, I live in the mountains of North Carolina. It's kind of chilly up here, and we've been talking about weather tonight. And we just want to share a few slides with you that will help you understand something that Carol's excited about and that we're excited to help her with. So, first and foremost, we are a part of a community that is inspiring healthy living around the world, and you'll learn more as we move through. I want to start with some not so good news. Let me see if I can get this to move forward. Here we go. In this nation, we are getting more and more unhealthy. I'm sure these statistics are not surprising to you, but 1 in 4 Americans will die of heart disease. 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer. You can see the numbers are not any better for diabetes or obesity in children. And I want to just reflect on the children part of this for a second, because what we're seeing is that younger and younger in our country, the kids are having health problems. And the statement at the bottom is really just very alarming. Our children are more harmed by poor diet than by exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. So we're going to be talking about the poor diet of us in America, and it starts with our children and it goes all the way up through our elderly. And we're going to talk about how that's affecting us. There's 2 conditions that are affecting our nutrition in this country and or our health concerns. I'm going to be drinking water throughout this presentation because my throat gets a little dry. So the first thing that's happening is we are having more and more toxins happen in our environment and in the products we use. So if you haven't done a lot of research on toxins, you may want to research it more. But bottom line is we get toxins from the air we breathe, the water we drink, the water we bathe in. You can see down here at the bottom the skincare products, the plastics that we might eat out of or drink out of. Really all around us. And I don't share that to scare you. I share that to keep you informed. So the toxins are creating some problems in our body. And we'll talk more about that as we move forward. Also, our food quality is decreasing. More than 50% of what we eat, most Americans, is processed. And when we eat that many processed foods, you'll see the list there, preservatives, growth hormones, pesticides, all the things that happen in our processed foods, those things are creating more toxins in our body, just like we saw in the previous slide. And this quote at the bottom is so concerning. The broccoli that we eat today could lose 50 to 80% of its key nutrients before we even purchase it. And what that means is the large scale growers have to have their produce harvested so early that the nutrient value is going down dramatically before it even gets to our grocery store. So because they have to ship it across the world or across our nation, or as you can see there, they are putting things in our food to make it travel better. And there's a gas that goes into apples, for example, to make them look pretty while they're traveling. And when they show up at our grocery store, they still look edible. So there's 2 big things happening: toxins and our food quality decreasing. But the good news is we can do several things. We have control of several things that can help us get healthier. And we've seen this list before, but I don't want to lose sight of the fact that we do need to exercise most days. We do need to get good sleep. We want to manage our stress, and that might be harder than many of us realize. But there are ways and techniques that we can talk about that really help us manage stress. We need to drink water. We need to use safer products. But the most important thing on this slide is that we eat real food. God created real food for our bodies, and we've gotten so far away from it that our bodies are now starving for nutrition. So let's focus on fruits and vegetables for a second. The experts agree that most diseases, when I say most diseases, that's the ones that all your friends are mentioning: diabetes, cancer, heart disease, arthritis. Most of those things are preventable with good nutrition. And sometimes that's alarming to people. They've never heard that. But for years, my doctor used to say that I probably would have cancer or cardiovascular disease because my mother had one and my father had the other. And now what the research is showing is that 80% of our long-term health is about our choices every day. And that's why I'm so excited to share this news with you, because I think it's very hopeful. I want to talk just a minute about oxidative stress, or another word that you might use for that is inflammation. So I've got a visual here that I think we've all done before. This is an apple that's cut in half, and lemon juice was, kind of squeezed on the right-hand side. The left-hand side was allowed to just breathe air, if you will, sit outside. And so what's happening is the aging and disease is happening to this apple on the left-hand side because it's not being protected by the lemon juice, or in our depiction, the antioxidants. So fruits and vegetables protect our cells from oxidative stress or inflammation. So that's the great news. We have some control. We can eat really well, primarily fruits and vegetables, and we can see our opportunity for chronic illness and disease decrease over time. So, this quote is wonderful. This came from Time Magazine back in 2003. Can you imagine? I mean, they've been talking about this for a long time, and we are really not completely getting it yet. The news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you. It's that they are so good for you, they can save your life. I know it really doesn't sound reasonable, but it is reasonable. The research is clear that if we eat well, and that means mostly things from the earth, we can save our lives and have much less occurrence of heart disease, cancer, and all the other chronic illnesses that we are struggling with in our nation today. So we need 7 to 13 servings. A serving is about the size of your fist. My fist might be a little bit bigger than Brenda's because she's a little girl, and our husband's fist might be a little bit bigger than ours. So bottom line is, each of us have a little different amount that we need, but we all need around 7 to 13 servings. And the number might seem high to you. I remember when it was 5 a day. Now it's 7 to 13 servings. So the reasons why are listed below. The produce is picked way too early. We talked about that earlier. And most people can't get the quantity, the variety, and the quality of fruits and vegetables that they need. So we need a rainbow of colors. That's the variety. Quantity, 7 to 13 servings. That would be expensive. If I go tomorrow and buy those at the grocery store, just for one day, that would probably 7 to 13 servings. I'm saying somewhere between $15 and $20 just for good quality produce. And finally, I don't necessarily love the flavor of all those fruits and vegetables. Just being able to eat that quantity is a lot. So that's a challenge for most Americans. And for years we thought that the multivitamin was our answer. I grew up eating Flintstones. I don't know if any of you guys did. And then I moved to one a day for women when I became an adult. And what they're realizing now is that the multivitamin that's created in a laboratory really has no nutritional value to the body. And in many cases, as the last point says, it may cause more harm than good. So let me share something with you that's quite enlightening. So an apple versus a supplement that might have vitamin C in it, for example, or multivitamin, you see there's about, I'm going to say maybe 18 pieces to this supplement that the laboratory has figured out how to add to a tablet. But when you look at an apple, it has over 3,000 phytonutrients in it. And that's how God designed our body, to have little bits of minerals and vitamins in food groups. And what we're trying to do is make that ourselves, and it's just not working. The body's not absorbing it, and it's not able to be taken in like the real food that God designed for our bodies. So we want to eat whole food versus trying to get our vitamins from a multivitamin. So what I'd like to do is introduce you to Juice Plus. This is a product that my family's been using for over 10 years. And it's a simple way for us to get over 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries into our diet every day. And there are just a few capsules that we take every day. And they come from the fruit, which is the red bottle, the veggie, the green, the berry, and then we take a plant-based omega. So bottom line, the Juice Plus company has figured out how to make fruits and vegetables into this easy button that we can just grab a few pills every day, and it's whole food nutrition. In those pills, as you can see on the slide, is just pulverized fruits and vegetables. The water has been taken out and they're dried at a very low temperature. So I call them plant powder capsules. The plant powder is in the capsule. Here's what's in the fruit, veggie, and berry blend. So what they did was choose the most nutritious fruits. That's the first red blend. Then they chose the most nutritious veggies and berries. And so they're, in the first example, taking the cherries, the apples, the beets, the peaches, the pineapples, I won't list them all, and they're putting them into one big batch. We're getting them from growers that are certified non-GMO, and they're pulverizing them and taking the water out and drying them at a very low temperature so they become a powder. So they do the same thing with the fruit, the veggie, and the berry blend. The other thing that they figured out how to do, which is so exciting, is a plant-based omega. So for years, I used to take a fish oil, and I hated those fish burps. If you've ever had them, they're miserable. But I knew that I needed omegas, and this is a way to get the plants before the fish eat it and create the full spectrum of omegas that our body needs. And you may know, if you don't know, I want to inform you that omegas are very good for heart health, brain health, joints, skin, and eyes. And the biggest one there is brain health. How many people in our country are struggling with some type of dementia or Alzheimer's, or in the child category, autism or ADHD? So we're having a real struggle in our country with brain health. And so I highly recommend getting our omegas from plants. And this is a rather new product that's having phenomenal results in the body. The other thing that our family takes that's a part of the Juice Plus line and that I recommend to my clients is the complete shakes. These are plant-based shakes that include, and I've kind of listed a few for you there. It's a vegan shake, include broccoli sprouts, radish sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, chickpea powder, 15 superfoods in a on-the-go shake mix. So I can shake that with some almond milk and take it out the door, or I can do it in my blender and make it a yummy, nutritious meal replacement. So we have, my husband has a chocolate one every morning. He does it as a hot chocolate. And then I send him to work with a cold smoothie made with frozen fruit and this powder. So he is getting so many plants in his body, it is keeping him very healthy. And I have to tell you, the taste is pretty darn good too. So, you know, what the Juice Plus company has tried to do is help you bridge the gap between what you do eat. You can see on the left-hand side, that's much of the American diet: pizza, burgers, chips, French fries. It's helping us bridge the gap from that to what we should be eating, which is the fruit and vegetables every day. And, you know, typically we're somewhere in the middle. We're not eating, I'm sure on this call, none of you are eating pizza every day, which is great news. But it is hard to eat the 7 to 13 servings that we all need every day in a rainbow of colors, which is what's shown on the right side. So people, the first question people ask me is, does this mean I don't have to eat fruits and vegetables anymore? And I always say, no, this is a way to bridge the gap. And I want you to eat as many as possible, and you're going to crave more as you take Juice Plus. But the body needs so many that we can't eat too many. So you still want to eat well, but Juice Plus is bridging the gap between what you do eat and what you should eat. So just a little summary here. Juice Plus is food, not a multivitamin. It actually has a nutrition label, not a supplement label. That means that it's only food. A box of broccoli out of the frozen food has a nutrition label, not a supplement label. It is certified by a third party that every batch is exactly what it says it is. There are no contaminants, no pesticides, no heavy metals. All those things are certified every batch by an outside third party. That gives me so much peace of mind. And it's the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the world. That is almost just too good to be true, but you're going to learn more in just a second about the nutritional research. There are 41 published research studies by major medical universities proving that Juice Plus is doing good things in the body. And here's the major categories. You can see cardiovascular wellness, reducing inflammatory markers. And you know, my favorite in this whole list is the last one. It's being absorbed by the body. Multivitamins in most cases are not being absorbed at all. And they know for sure that this is getting into the bloodstream. They're testing blood on the front end, and then they're testing blood after Juice Plus has been taken. And they can see the positive markers that are happening in the bloodstream. And Dr. Rick Du Bois has a quote here at the bottom. He was known as America's first infectious disease doctor who was the head of the Atlanta Medical Center for years. And he said that there is nothing else available any place in the world with or without a prescription that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has been proven to do. So I love that. I can't get a prescription to do this, but I can get real food that's basically been concentrated and put into a capsule for me to make it super simple. The other thing I'm excited about is that the Juice Plus company has figured out a way to help people grow fruits and vegetables at home. I do find that I have one of these in my home pretty much 12 months out of the year. And I do find that I eat more fruits and vegetables when I grow my own. And we have discovered that with most families as well. So it's just a really simple modern technology way to grow food in the house or outside the house. There's two versions. The one on the left that's called Home has the lights attached, and that can go right in the corner of your living room or dining room or even your kitchen. And the one on the right is typically designed to be outside. But we can talk more about those. They are really, really fun ways to grow food for you and your family, your grandchildren, and just, you know, getting back to the basics of growing real nutritional food. So I do want to talk for just a second about our mission. We have a mission of inspiring healthy living around the world. And we have invited Carol to join us on this mission so that she can help people get healthier too. And if you know Carol, which we know that you do, Mary and Brenda, you know that she already loves health and wellness. So this was just a great tool to add to her toolbox. And here in a second, I'm going to get her to share a little bit of her story as to why this was something that was of interest to her and why she's excited to put it in her body every day. But I did want to finish out with a few slides. Jay Martin is the founder of the Juice Plus company, and this is his mission since 1970. This company's been around a long time. The mission has been to inspire healthy living around the world and to build a stable and lasting company that helps as many people as possible realize their dreams. And you know, my husband and I got connected with the Juice Plus product about 10 years ago. It's been a game changer for our health. I suffered with severe IBS, I had chronic inflammation and joint pain. My husband had allergies and asthma. And what we realized is when we started putting this whole food nutrition in our body is that our bodies started healing from the inside out. And so when we saw those kind of results, we knew that we would want to share it with others because it just made sense. And so we partnered with the company so that we could have more impact in our friends and families' lives for better health. And what has happened is the more we share this product, the more we have been able to realize our dreams of getting to the North Carolina mountains and doing something super fun. We actually have started a tower garden farm up here with 100 towers. and we grow food for our local community, which is so fulfilling. So we had no idea when we started taking these little capsules of concentrated plant powders that it would impact our lives in this way, but it has, and we're so grateful that God brought it into our lives. There are a good amount of free resources for you. If you have some interest in getting some cookbooks or some fitness videos, we have all kinds of things free online for you. And we have support groups and accountability groups because we have a program called Shred 10 that helps people create a lifestyle of health with small, simple habits every day. And Juice Plus is one component, but we also work on things like hydration and exercise and stress management. So we're at the stage, Carol, where we'd love to hear your story and a little bit about how you learned about Juice Plus, and then what you feel like is happening in your body as you're taking Juice Plus. I haven't heard your story in a while, but I remember there was something pretty incredible going on there. So can you unmute yourself and share it with us?
It was actually probably not incredible, but kind of funny. I'm normally a high energy person, and not very long ago I lost my job and I kind of went through a little depression, a little sadness. Brenda had given me some fruits and vegetables, some Juice Plus, and I had it in my bathroom, and I had used it for a bit, and then I had stopped using it. And one day my husband was running circles around me. He's doing the laundry, he's doing the kitchen, he's just got all this energy. He's running around in circles. I'm like, what are you doing? And where did you get this energy? And he said, well, you know, those little vitamins that you have in the bathroom. And I know they're not vitamins, but that's what he called them, with the colorful lids. And I said, you're kidding me. He goes, I've been taking those and I feel great. so of course I started taking them again, and I was suddenly more interested, and sure enough, it did help me get my energy back. And we were sick for a while, and I think it brought us through our sickness. You know, we tested negative for COVID, but we were sick for a good 10, 12 weeks. And I think that brought us through. I think that's the only reason we survived being sick. And I know Mary was sick for a while too, and she lost her energy with that. And she's normally a high energy person. So I immediately thought of Mary, among other people. And Julie said she was on the call. Is Julie on the call? No? No?
Yes,
okay.
I'm here.
Oh, hi, Julie. Hi, Julie. And I know Julie's a nurse as well. Mary, myself, and Julie are all nurses. So we all know about health, and we know how important it is what we put in our mouth for food, how it can make us feel great or it can make us feel bad. So all of those things, they can make us energetic. They can make us real sleepy. So
yeah.
As we age, and we're all about the same age, we need that energy to keep going.
We do need the energy. And thank you for sharing your story. I had forgotten about your husband grabbing those and running circles around you. That's great. It's funny. You know, there's one thing I want to kind of close out my presentation with, and I'll turn off the recording so that your guests can ask questions. I want to hear from Julie and Mary, obviously. People ask me, the first question is, how much does it cost? So let me go ahead and give you an idea there in case this is something that might be a good fit for you. If it's not a good fit for you, you may know someone that came to mind as I shared, you know, those slides, and we'd love for you to share that person's name with Mary, or maybe do an introduction with Mary, because I think we all know someone who's struggling with some health conditions, but we also all need more fruits and vegetables. So this is kind of across the board. So the pricing starts as low as, if you get started with our starter program, which is the fruit and veggie, a little over $1.50 a day, maybe $1.70, and less than a cup of coffee if we're going to Starbucks. But if you want to take the full spectrum of the fruit, veggies, berries, and the plant-based omega, you might move up closer to $2.50 to $3 a day. But I have to tell you, to get that many fruits and vegetables into my body, I could never buy that many and juice them. And so I believe that it's a real bargain for my long-term health and preventative health. but I did have to kind of work through that process to understand what was included and how much it was going to impact my body. So we can talk offline about those things, but I did want to finish that out because I think that's always a question. How much does this cost? You know, and recently I had a girlfriend that I shared it with, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, that's it? You know, I spend more than that on some of my fancy vitamins from Whole Foods." So just be aware that to get whole food nutrition that's got that kind of research, that's actually a really good, you know, value for what you're paying for. So let me stop the recording, and then I want to hear from your guest, Carol. Hold on. Stop recording.